Hello everyone, it's Matsimus here with you today. Thank you so much for joining me on this military review video. As always guys, please feel free to hit that like button if you do enjoy today's video, and also leave me a comment. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion, whether positive or negative, both on the vehicle and on my video itself. With that being said, if you did enjoy today's content and wish to support my channel, then feel free to go check out my Patreon page and support me in any way, shape or form. It would be much appreciated as always. So today we are talking about the Boxer CRV. Now specifically that vehicle itself and not the entire Boxer fleet, because that is quite a large fleet to be talking about. So we will talk a little bit about its initial production history, because it does tie into how the CRV for the Australian Armed Forces came into play. And as always, I will go over the specifications and details of this particular vehicle, and then finally my own opinions on it. So before we actually get through to the actual entirety of the vehicle, let's go through its history a little bit. So, the Boxer is a German-Dutch multi-rolled armoured fighting vehicle designed to accomplish a number of operations through the use of installable mission modules. The Boxer is a cooperative European design project aimed at producing next generation of armoured fighting vehicles. It was produced originally by ARTEC, or the Armoured Vehicle Technology Industrial Group, and the program is being monitored by OCCAR, or the Organisation for Joint Armament Cooperation. Rheinmetall Defence is bidding its Boxer 8x8 Combat Reconnaissance Vehicle in a response to the Commonwealth Government of Australia's Land 400 Phase 2 Mounted Combat Reconnaissance Capability request for tender. Land 400 Phase 2 would deliver 225 vehicles to the Australian Army, which in the first stage of a program will see the replacement of its entire fighting vehicle capability. Boxer balances the key military requirements of protection, mobility and firepower in a very good combination that can be rapidly transitioned into service and quite easily supported throughout its lifespan. The Boxer family concept is based around a uniform drive module and interchangeable user role specific modules. This is designed for pretty much perfect versatility, guys. These build-on modules lend themselves to develop a wide variety of mission-specific variants, which is unique to the Boxer. These interchangeable modules also offer users to considerable cost-saving opportunities, with a single drive module capable of adapting to perform a multitude of operational dedicated roles. The Boxer CRV is pretty much considered to be one of the gold standards in 8x8 armoured fighting vehicles out today. Boxer's design origins speak volumes about its compatibility with the Land 400 Phase 2 capability priorities and protection and mobility requirements. From the outset, Boxer was designed to have a class-leading protection and crew survivability as standard, and it was designed to be highly mobile, at these high protection levels and out of the box without modification or upgrades. The addition of the Lance turret addresses the third priority of lethality, the world's most advanced medium caliber cannon turret, providing a very good blend of firepower and range and rate of fire. There is also the ability to have the stowed kills and programmable 30mm ammunition nature. Now this is quite debatable to say, but the Boxer baseline vehicle has been proven and qualified by one of the most exhaustive and pretty much development intensive programs that the armoured vehicle industry has ever seen, with 12 prototypes in 9 different variants put through extensive reliability and durability trials. Trial vehicles accumulated more than 190,000 kilometers of test driving spread over 4,700 trial days. The Boxer development program met some 1,600 separate technical, engineering and performance and capability requirements. The Boxer CRV features a multi-layer protection concept and survivability cell that provides a unique overmatch capability to minimize the catastrophic kill risk of mine blasts and IEDs, which is a huge risk to most vehicles in theaters nowadays. The mission module survivability cell has a triple floor and angled sides to deflect mine blasts, sitting like a hammock in the drive module and effectively decoupling it from the blast zone. So basically guys, this is allowing the driver and crew to be not even attached to the base of the floor. The double skin drive module also absorbs critical blast deformation, which, trust me when I say this, I have seen some disgustingly horrible critical blast deformations on vehicles such as the Warrior, the Viking and even deadly, the CVRT. This underlying design philosophy ensures that the Boxer CRV has a very good multi-hit capability and sufficient residual mobility following an attack. Basically means that the vehicle can keep going if it loses a wheel or two or even some suspension units, it'll just keep going. Even the engine, which is situated in an L shape in the front driving compartment, adds another layer of protection to the crew and the occupants against over-penetrating projectiles. Interestingly enough, there was a lot of extra effort made into ensure that hot components of this vehicle, such as the engine, are actually thermally isolated through the use of decoupled and actively cooled plates on the front of the vehicle. This is then giving careful consideration of the engine cooling and exhausting actually towards the ground. That's when you notice when this vehicle driving around, all the dust coming from underneath is actually exhaust being pushed to the floor. The vehicle can accept a variety of external armour packages depending on the required protection level, including ceramic applique and Rheinmetall's active defence system. In addition to class-leading protection against heavy machine gun fire and medium caliber cannons, also artillery fragments, the Boxer CRV is protected against all types of anti-personnel and anti-tank mines, IEDs, and nuclear, biological and chemical threats as standard. As proposed for Phase 2 of Land 400, it is understood that the Boxer CRV meets and exceeds the project's extremely demanding protection requirements for kinetic threats over the frontal arc and mine IED blasts under the wheels and centerline of the vehicle. The location of flammable liquids also adds to the Boxer CRV's overall survivability. For instance, there is no fuel or hydraulic oil inside the vehicle. The fuel tanks are contained in the rear drive module, and the actuator for the rear ramp is positioned outside the mission module. The drop-in mission modules, 10 of which have been deployed and qualified, including that of the infantry fighting vehicle variant, are secured to the driveline module by just 4 M32 bolts, with the associated hoses and electrical connections. This enables modules to be easily swapped in and out of theatre within 30 minutes. Now this is fantastic, guys, and this is really key because once again we're going into the modular cross-compatibility world, which is extremely important for new systems nowadays, especially when going into variants of different countries, different nations that can actually swap kit out with one another. That is highly impressive and very specific because it allows the vehicle to be put into any role it's necessarily needed to in the environment it's going to. I love that about this vehicle. In keeping with the original brief that the vehicle must be able to follow a Leopard 2 main battle tank across country, Boxer's tactical mobility requirements have been qualified at the maximum combat weight under the most extreme environmental conditions. Mobility trials included testing in various locations in Europe, the Middle East and the German army areas. They were given hot and dry trials in Australia in 2010 where the top recorded temperature was around 56 degrees Celsius. At the core of the Boxer CRV's high mobility is the MTU 8V199 720 horsepower V8 multi-fueled engine coupled to a 7-speed Allison, very highly regarded transmissions. Surprisingly, the power pack of this vehicle can be changed out in the field in roughly 30 minutes, which is extremely impressive. The powertrain is joined by a driveline that features independent suspension for all 4 wheels, permanent 8x8 drive with 4 axle differentials and 2 interaxle differentials. The vehicle also features a central tyre inflation system for the 27-inch Michelin X-Force run-flat tyres, an anti-skid braking and steering mechanism located above the wheels in protected positions. The maximum speed of the Boxer CRV is a listed 103 km an hour, complemented by a 1050 km road range for outstanding endurance, operational mobility and self-deployability. This is key, guys, and this is why a lot of people get so upset why seeing a tracked vehicle is not as good as having a wheeled vehicle. Guys, the operational range of a wheeled vehicle can sometimes a third double the distance of a tracked vehicle, and the speed on which it can get there is drastically improved, which is very important. Yes, it needs to go off-road, but within reason. A lot of areas that vehicles can get to nowadays is normally ability to go by road, and if this vehicle can do so at such great speed and such great fuel economy and range, why not? And I think that's something that us tracked fanatics really need to remember. The Lance turret, which is in service with the Spanish Marine Corps since 2011, is the Rheinmetall Lance turret with a state-of-the-art system that can be pretty much fitted to any wheeled vehicle or tracked AFV. To align with the reconnaissance role and the end-user community familiarity of the Australian military, the Lance turret on the Boxer CRV is a 2-man configuration to provide maximum situational awareness, observation and giving overall vehicle flexibility. It does have a modular design, and Lance can also be configured to an unmanned system with remotely controlled operation to reduce weight and free up internal hull volume. Armed with the Mauser Rheinmetall Mark 32 airburst munition dual feed automatic 30mm cannon with a 7.62mm coaxial machine gun supported by the advanced sensors and sighting systems. The Lance turret enables to target large precision targets out to 3,000 meters and has a true hunter capability. The Mark 32 is also well proven and a highly versatile weapon in various configurations used in both ground and air defense roles. The Lance turret has 200 ready-to-use rounds of 30 by 173mm ammunition in two natures available to the gun, with additional quantities of ammunition stowed in the vehicle. A unique feature of the Lance turret is its compartmentalized ammunition, which is stored outside the crew compartment, thus substantially increasing survivability. Contributing to the reduced technical integration risk profile for the Boxer CRV bid, Rheinmetall has ownership of the majority of the high-technology subsystems which comprise the Lance turret, including motion electronics, stabilization systems, electro-optics, sights, sensors, fire control systems, and much more. No third parties are required for this vehicle, and once again guys, this is a huge bonus to this vehicle. Being able to source one particular brand of equipment is very important, saves a lot of money and makes things a lot easier. This would enable Rheinmetall also to offer the Lance turret into future phases of the Land 400 program, therefore assuring commonality between Phase 2 and Phase 3 vehicles. The modular build approach of the turret lends itself to the approach that it can address customer concerns and about turret commonality across all the fleets, which, you know, if you can put a vehicle turret on the first vehicle, why would you not try and buy something you can put it on the second one? That's what they're kind of aiming for. So there you have it guys, the Boxer CRV, clearly a very impressive vehicle. As you can see here, this isn't actually the specific CRV variant, it's just a nice little video showing the actual chassis of the Boxer. But overall guys, this vehicle is specifically designed to do recon. It's not there to engage targets, it's not there to drop off infantry. It has a primary role for the Land 400 program to be a reconnaissance vehicle. And I think this vehicle pretty much ticks every box in doing so, not only for being just a reconnaissance vehicle, but for primarily the Australian military demand for the Land 400 program and its Phase 2 requirement. Let's just talk a little bit about what I feel about this vehicle's overall, I guess, abilities. It clearly has some really interesting features. My most important feature that these vehicles have, and that's I think Boxer specific and through the entire family, is its ability to be modular, extremely versatile, being able to swap between components, swap between these modules as such, and really the commonality of the chassis itself provides a huge outsource of different variants out there. Clearly the Australian military has decided to focus on this one to be reconnaissance, but the fact that this vehicle can do multitude of different things really impresses me. I really love the Lance turret guys. I'm not too sure how I feel about the 30mm, you know, the compartmentalized ammunition. I just haven't done enough research on it, and I will be doing a video specifically on that kind of armament in the future, but I am glad they picked the 30mm armament because it's nice to have a recon vehicle that can pack a bit of punch if it does come into some sort of combat role. Unfortunately, it's not its number one purpose to be able to engage the enemy, but if it does, those 30mm rounds can do some real damage, unlike the 20mm or smaller caliber cannons that are on some of its predecessing vehicles out there serving today with NATO. I mean, the Lance turret itself is equipped with some really state-of-the-art systems, including the fully digital fire control system, which is very powerful, with its 2 electric optical sights, each equipped with high-resolution cameras, thermal imaging, and a laser rangefinder. It's also fully stabilized, which is nice because a lot of systems out there, you know, its older vehicles are not fully stabilized, which means it's unable to engage targets very easily on the move, and that's very important. That hunter-killer capability, again, is extremely important, being able to have both a commander and gunner switching between targets if necessary, and also it's nice for the gunner to do his job and the commander to do the other, so the commander can focus on doing recon and the gunner can just scan for targets, which is really important. I really like the fact also that this vehicle is capable to take on some serious IED blasts and mine protection. Very important in today's environments, being able to prevent any kind of casualties if it does potentially run over a vehicle. Trust me guys, I've seen the horrors of what IEDs and mine blasts can do to vehicles when they're not protected correctly at the bottom, and this vehicle has been designed purposely in most regard for that fact, and able to continue moving if it has been run over any kind of blast, which is really important. Mobility in terms of its range and speed is just unreal. I think that's incredible. Something that I am highly triggered by because I'm a tracked fan and I love my tanks, but it's the future guys, and that's what militaries are looking for now. They want mobility, they want speed, they want to be you know, the power of the vehicle to get onto the battlefield quickly and off the battlefield quickly, especially with the CRV, because you need that speed. You need a reconnaissance vehicle that can actually get into a position and out very quickly. Overall, guys, I honestly find this to be an absolutely outstanding vehicle, and I'm very glad that the Australian Army is looking into trying to procure this vehicle. Whether or not the contract for this actually going through is going to be completed, who really knows. The Boxer vehicles in the A2 configuration for Germany are anticipated quite soon, with delivery scheduled, I think, around this year to 2020. So it's going to be interesting to see how that rolls out. But I'm really glad the Australian military is looking into this vehicle. There's obviously a lot of options out there, different variants, different types, different companies, in fact, that are producing their own stuff. But I'm glad this vehicle has been put into the showcase a little bit and doing its thing, doing what it's been designed to do. And I'd love to hear your opinion on this vehicle, guys. What do you think about it? Do you think it's got some key attributes that are making it a true contender in the armoured fighting vehicle world today, or the wheeled 8x8 sort of markets, I guess? And just let me know what you think about its features. Do you think it's good, or do you think it's bad? Do you think it's worthwhile for the Australian Army to have? I'm sure a number of my viewers there who are Australian watching this right now may think, oh, Matsimus, this thing sucks, or Matsimus, we're really glad we're getting this thing. I'd love to hear your opinion too, because you guys are going to be potentially getting this vehicle, so we'll see how that goes. If you are new to my channel, once again, guys, please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Leave me a like, and again, check out my Patreon account if you enjoyed. All the best, have a great day, and bye-bye.